ravioli recipe starts in a fairly straightforward fashion with a pasta dough. And Michael chooses an egg dough using 4 eggs to 4 cups of flour for 4 people. The eggs and the flour are gently incorporated until a smooth mixture is achieved. And once a firm ball is arrived at, this can either be rolled with a rolling pin, or if you're lucky enough to possess one of these, it can be fed through the pasta roller. When Michael uses this, he adjusts the rollers, feeding it through 3 times and making it thinner on each occasion. So having done that, we then come to the weeds. Tell me about your weeds, Michael.
Okay, the weeds. This is borage. I've just taken that out of the garden this morning. It goes very well in this recipe. This is a dandelion leaf. I've got half a dozen or so of those in there. This one here is salad burnet, and it's a particularly good plant for this recipe. Here are some celery tops, just the things you'd normally throw away off the celery.
Right, so anything from the garden you know you can eat.
Absolutely anything. Many things you'd normally throw away. Carrot tops would be fun.
So these are some of the weeds and herbs that you've already blanched and drained, and they get chopped up with your fancy mezzaluna.
That's exactly right.
Now, is that far enough?
That looks perfect to me.
Excellent. So now we mix that with what looks like to me ricotta.
Yes.
And that cheese is...
Parmesan or any Italian hard cheese.
Right, and they're crumbled together.
Yes.
And then I believe you add some nutmeg. A generous grating, I always like to have a generous grating of nutmeg in pasta dishes. And then I stir in the finely chopped weeds into a good rich paste.
It's looking great.
Looking fine. Ready to make up those ravioli parcels?
I think we're ready to go.
Perfect. So it's back to the pasta dough, which has kept its condition perfectly. And I put on some dollops of that fabulous mixture of herbs, 2 cheeses, nutmeg and pepper. And they don't need to be tiny little parcels. I like to have quite big ones. Once I've done that, I brush around the edges where I'm going to seal with a little water. On goes another piece of pasta dough, and then it's cut round with this fancy piece of equipment. Gosh, Michael, you have everything here. But
I'm a collector of these things.
You could also do it with a knife, though, couldn't you?
You could.
And once the parcels are ready for poaching, they get poached very gently, don't they, in salted water for about how long?
About 1.5 or 2 minutes.
As quickly as that. It just gives you time to make your special sage butter, which is simply...
a mixture of sage and butter fried up with a little bit of olive oil in it.
How wonderful. And I'm about to enjoy the pleasure along with Michael's recommended wine, a Chardonnay Tasmanian, of course. And when Michael manages to master the Consuming Passions theme, he'll be allowed to try the taste test with me. From Consuming Passions in wonderful Hobart, till next time, bon appetit. Now keep playing, Michael, keep playing.